My name is Bev Salt. I'm the founder of Salt. I'm a marketing consultant. For more information about me, head over to my website, adsalt.co.uk. Today, I'm joined by Alice Widger from Milkit Digital. Alice is an SEO expert, and we know each other through a community group called the Mums in Marketing Group, and we're both founding members. So welcome, Alice.
Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about SEO, as you might have guessed, and how we're going to optimize our website and content for emerging trends. So, Alice, let's start with EAT. No, I'm not talking about food, the acronym used by Google, EEAT. Do you want to explain to us what that is?
So EEAT is another one of Google's wonderfully labelled algorithms. Google has some of the driest names out there when it comes to talk about their algorithms and how they look at content on websites and how they deliver it onto their search engines. This one handily stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. It's quite a mouthful, as you can tell. So in the simplest terms, it's all about how you can optimize your website for these different factors that Google looks at. So, for example, when we talk about the first E, which is experience, and so something I talk to clients a lot about, how do we show our experience? How do we show our expertise? And the two go hand in hand. And like I say to my clients, it's all very well sort of having a beautifully designed website, but if you're not actually telling people what you do and how you do it and why you're the best in the business or the sector, or you provide the best products for the thing that you do, then how is anyone going to know about it? How are you actually going to sell it? But also how a search engine is going to understand it as well. So although you know what you do, and although your client base might understand what you do, you have to prove it to search engines, because they're not mind readers. They don't care that you have this wonderful business. They don't care that you have this beautifully designed website. What they care about is the fact that you can actually show it and bring people to your site to want to read about it and eventually get in touch.
And how can people do that, Alice?
So we do it through content. So we do it through, it's another one of Google's lovely named algorithms, which is all about useful and helpful content. And in the simplest way to do that is literally by writing it. We talk about it from the point of view of your ideal audience. So you do want to talk about who you are as a business and how you do it, but you want to be talking about the pain points that your audience has, the clients has. What are the issues they're experiencing which is making them wanting to find a service or product to fix that issue. So for example, if you're a plumber, you might do emergency plumbing 24/7. So if you've got a page about plumbing, obviously we talk about the fact that you do 24/7, emergency plumbing in a certain area. Here are all your credentials, here's your experience, this is what you do in this situation. Maybe you've got a pipe that is frozen and exploded everywhere and your house is flooding. It's like putting that content on that page not only tells search engines what you do and how you do it, it's also letting the people know when they come to your website that you actually do it. You're not making them think, okay, I've landed on the page, there's not a lot of content. Do they do it? Who are they? Is it the service I need? It's all there for them to read about. It's all there for them to trust you, which then pulls you into the A and T part of the algorithm, which is all about authority and trust. It's building those trust signals. The other part of the A and T of that is about authority and trust. So from Google's point of view, it's building backlinks to your website, and a backlink is a link from another website to your website. When it comes to websites, it's not about the quantity of the backlinks, it's the quality. So the backlinks should be coming from websites that make sense. They should be from websites where it would be a natural link to your site, whether it's from a directory, an industry paper, it could be a blog post, for example. It could be any sort of number of things that would make sense for your ideal audience to be on already, and then to find out about what you're doing, get a link back. So this it's like a two birds with one stone. You get a piece of PR, and then you get a backlink to your website, and that all builds trust within Google's eyes. that you're actually kind of a legit company, that other people trust your opinion, they trust your service already, and that will help.
Will the quantity of backlinks you have help to build the domain authority on your websites?
Yeah, so again, it really depends. There's no sort of magic number, and I always say this to my clients. It's like you can have a really well performing website with one amazing backlink, and it's better to have a really good quality backlink than hundreds of really bad quality backlinks. Ideally, you should be going for a domain authority that is high. Different SEO tools use different ways of sort of assessing it, so it will be different depending which SEO tool you have. Some count out of 100, some count out of 10, and then, generally there is like one, which is generally pretty bad and pretty spammy. Again, Google has an algorithm to look at backlinks, so it will discount any sort of low domain spammy looking backlinks already for you. So you don't need to worry too much about those unless you're getting harmful traffic to your site, which will show up on Google Analytics, and then you can think about disavowing it in Google Search Console. But Google's smart and it understands backlinks and what's useful and what's not.
Great, thank you. So the next thing I wanted to ask you about was SGE, another acronym, which stands for Search Generative Experience. I've spoken to a few people and they haven't actually seen SGE. So I just wanted to show, for those watching, I'm just going to share what SGE actually is. So I typed into Google, what is SGE? And you can see here, it's an AI powered snippet. So it shows you what SGE is, and on the right hand side it will pick out the companies that Google thinks are the most relevant to answer that question as well. So for those of you who haven't seen it, that's just a quick summary of what SGE is. Alice, then, so these are AI powered snippets. Users can ask a question and it will generate an answer based on existing web content. So as marketeers, how can we optimize our website so we can rank where the AI snippet has popped up?
Yeah, so again, it's one of those things where Google launches something and obviously AI content is huge. It's blown up from ChatGPT onto Google. Google had Bard, and thank God they changed the name because it was really bad. Another amazing example of Google's dreadful names. So when it comes to content, again, nothing has changed from the advice that Google's been given, SEOs have been giving, and content creators have been giving for years, is to write content for your audience. So again, it all comes down to what Google likes to say: useful, helpful content. And it is literally that. Don't create content just for the sake of it. And it's something I'm asked all the time. How many blog posts should I write a month to get my website ranking? How many words do I need to add? And all these things. And it doesn't work like that. It's better to have capacity to write 5 blog posts a year. Just do those 5 blog posts, but make them really good. Research into what your audience wants and what your ideal client wants. What are their issues? What are their pain points? What are they searching for at the start of their journey? Because informational searches are all based on people trying to figure out an issue that they've got. Whatever it happens to be, all the questions are what, how, when, if, what are these things that they're trying to find an answer to? So if you can create a piece of content around those core issues that your client, your audience has, and you write it from the point of view them, so you sort of have to reverse engineer and sort of put yourself in their shoes, and then give your answers from obviously from a business point of view, then you're going to create something which is useful. The other thing you want to do as well is to have a look, literally go on Google, Yahoo, Bing, whichever web browser you use, and look at the content that's currently ranking for those searches. Look at what they've written about. Look at things like the backlinks they've got coming to those pieces. Do they have a video on there? Do they have infographics? What have they done? And then what can you do which is better but also delivers answers that they haven't covered? How can you angle it from what's out there already? So it's providing something which has got a unique take on it. And then that in turn is going to feed into the AI snippets. And don't be afraid of the AI snippets. they're there, but I don't think they're gonna go away. I don't think Google or anyone's gonna retract this from a search. It's now part of the search experience. Being in my mid-40s, then it's search has changed so much. We've got reviews, we've got knowledge panels, we've got maps, we've got images, videos, shopping, ads. We've had, people also ask in there, and the little accordion kind of menus push down, which I see that as like the start of the AI, where the AI generated content where it was taking snippets from websites and putting it in there, and then the newest form of that is now at the top of the search engine results. But what's handy with the Google one over something like ChatGPT is that you've got those links right there, and also we've got that extra panel which also links to those same websites where it's pulled that content. So then you can go, you know what, that looks really interesting, I want to read more about that, and it will take people to that website. So at no point a website is being pushed to the side by Google and sort of going, we're going to take all your content, but we're not going to link back to you, which is what everyone was really worried about when they were first talking about it. But that hasn't happened. Those links are still there. We still have our top 10 organic results and search engine results. You can just scroll down. You can ignore AI if you don't want to be told what to think and what to do. You want to do your own research, you still can. It's all there. It's just now we've just got a little AI snippet at the top to speed things up.
Alice, are there any tools to help people decide what content they should be generating to answer their customers' pain points and queries?
The biggest one is the Answer the Public. I think I got that name right. Yeah, so Answer the Public, it's very handy, even if it is co-owned by someone who I'm not so keen on in the SEO world, but enough said about that. But yeah, it's a really, really handy tool. It's really good. Obviously, your own Google Search Console is going to be full of data of things that people are searching for already to find your website, and that's something I advise my clients, like when we're sort of looking at keyword research and things like that, is that we look at what Google is already seeing on the website. What can we take from this? What easy wins? I don't like saying easy wins of SEO because it's not. But there's so much information in your Google Search Console. If you look under performance, you can see all these different searches, and you can pull out from there what could be something which is starting to rank, or Google's understanding certain things about your website. Then you can pull content from there. You can do your traditional straight up Google search as well. You can pop questions in there, and you can literally put it in the search bar. You can start to type in, and you can go through. It sounds really basic, but it's actually a really good tactic. And you just put, say, for example, what is SEO? And then you can just go A, B, C, D, and just see what comes down in the search results. And it's like the top asked questions and things like that will come up. And again, that's another really super easy, free way of finding content to write about.
Thank you, that's brilliant. User signals. So Google relies heavily on user signals to rank content and determine relevance. So as marketeers, how can we optimize our websites for user signals?
Yeah, so give people a good time. It's like as simple as that. Give people a good time. It's like, it's a two-way street. If you build a website that is really, really nice to use, it's easy, you can navigate, you can find all the things you want, you don't have massive images taking up, you're having to scroll past loads of videos, all of these things. Or if you're on your mobile, it doesn't take 4,000 years to load. Giving people a good time. And if people are having a good time, then Google's having a good time, and it's going to love you. So Google is a little bit muddy when it talks about user signals. It's one of those things where Google in the past has sort of claimed that it doesn't use user signals from Google Analytics to rank your website. I think that's bollocks, because I see, like, on client sites, when I've taken on a site and there's no interaction, time on site is really low, we've put the work in, we've put really good content in, and then people are spending more time on the site, and then it starts to move up in search engine rankings. But again, it's really hard to pinpoint what exactly did it, because there's so many different factors. Google has something like, it's like 250, 300 ranking factors. Beyond that, because not even Google really knows how Google works, because it's such a point where it's so smart that there's just so many different elements involved in where a website ranks and why it ranks and how it ranks, that you can't just go, it was that, because there's so many other things happening at the same time. So this is the beauty and also the frustration of working in SEO, where you can never really say, we did this thing, it was that, and very much the same with user signals. Ultimately, don't worry too much about what Google wants, worry about what people want, and Google will follow.
That's brilliant advice. I love it. Alice, if our listeners or viewers had any questions, how can people reach you?
Yeah, so you can find me on my website, which is milkitdigital.co.uk, and you can find me mostly hanging out on LinkedIn under my name, which is Alice Widger. Can't say my own name. And I'm also on Instagram occasionally, not as much. And my handle on Instagram is milkitdigital, and you can see me dancing around on there in sequin dresses mostly.
In beautiful Devon. Okay, that's been really helpful. Thank you very much for your time today, Alice.
Thank you for asking me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.